Hello, and welcome back to McD Guitars. We're in the workshop today, and well, it's a new year, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. No, just kidding, but yeah, we're kind of finally hit the YouTube burnout in the latter half of 2025, and just kind of took a break, took a rest, and didn't have much content going out there. And well, let's just say I'm rejuvenated and I'm ready to go. So it's a new year, and I've decided I think I'm going to start slightly new format. I will probably try to continue to do guitar series, like a series for a guitar build, but I think I want to do more of just kind of in the workshop videos where maybe we'll see 3 or 4 different guitars get worked on in one episode, and just kind of continue on with what we have going on here. So I guess we can go ahead and delve into some of the projects we have currently going on and see what we can get into today. So welcome back. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in a little bit, and yeah, we'll see what happens in the workshop today. All right, on to projects. For starters, I apologize for the shaky cam, but I set up a couple different camera angles and I just couldn't capture what I wanted to. I felt this is the best way to show you guys what's going on. So let's get in here. Really digging this one. Everything's coming out really nicely. Where we're at here, stars is pretty cool, so you check those out. So you can get that piece. Light on one side, dark on the other. We go around, light on this side, dark on the other. It's pretty cool how that mirror finish kind of bounces back and forth. But yeah, we went ahead and worked this neck down quite a bit. We are really digging it, and I still haven't re-waxed it. But in the process of working on the Flying V and getting that neck a lot thinner, I decided I am going to come back and take even more off of this and find that really, really nice spot. So on to the next. And next up we have the Flying V. Dig in, we are moving right along here. See if we can get an angle to see some of that flaminess. It is pretty flamey. Guess we'll have to get a better camera angle for that. But yeah, we're cruising right along. We've got some good progress on our headstock. We do have our first piece of the bridge mounted and aligned correctly. And yeah, we are getting close. I really like the shape that the base of this neck turned into. And if we see, still got to finish up that maple, but this neck is really nice to feel. So basically we are cruising right along. We just need to keep moving. You can see we've got our tuners located already. Definitely got some finish sanding to do. But with both the Journey and the Flying V here, we have some woods that I am just ever so slightly allergic to, and I'm not really interested in working in my miniature shop with. I usually work with these ones outdoors, so we're in a pretty big cold spell right now, and so we are gonna hang tight, and we will get back to these once we can go outside. And next up, we have our first single cut. We've got a lot of work done on this since you guys have seen it last. As you can see, we've got a lip all the way around the exterior. And we went ahead and made a figured Nara fretboard. And I really dig it. looks very fiery, and as you can see, we've got a double carve going on where each side of that is going to match. We flip over, we've got we did pretty good for a round freehand, and as you can see, I like to make all of these covers with the carve of the guitar. So both our control cavity cover and our switch cover are contoured into the carve. Our neck is still at a pretty rough spot right now, but yeah, we've got pretty nice fit. We are getting close to where we want to be, and we've just got a basic carve right now, but this one really worked out nice. If we look close, you can see that line of flatness there, and the faceting came out really nice on this. I really took my time and made really nice facets, so just kind of went with a puck design headstock for this one. And we actually did. We are working on getting our headstock veneer going right now. Yeah, really digging this one. This is going to be the last one for me, and boy, I'm excited. Definitely be seeing a lot of this in the near future. Up next, we have what is going to be a hollow body of the same flair of what the Journey is, and this one's for Jake Schuler. Whoop whoop! You could basically call him the winner of the guitar giveaway. We actually have two winners of the guitar giveaway, so this will be the one of them, and we are actually already getting close to being halfway to a hollow body. So we need to relieve our maple, but we've got a really nice interesting kind of quilty, almost flamey quilty top, and our back here is some really cool fiddleback white limba. It's going to be pretty nice. So this one will be in the works quite a bit soon. We were going to have a nice white limba neck to go in here. A little bit of a start on that. And use some kind of landscapey ebony fretboard. We'll see what kind of inlays we come up with on that. But yeah, we're really excited about this one. This should be a really pretty guitar. Be fully carved, and we'll see what we do for F-holes. So, can't wait. Next on the list is going to be a really interesting one. This is going to be a kind of off the charts guitar where we got a really nice figured walnut top, full carved top there. We have cutoffs of, whitish or blackish limba, and we're going to do the same thing we did with the Journey, where we have some rosewood offcuts of the flying V-neck that we're going to join all these joints up with. And you can see it's pretty wide here, right? Well, if we move over, our back is going to be kind of contoured in. So this is going to be a thick, deep body. And for a reason, it's going to be, for one, it's going to be left-handed. This one's for Heath. And for two, it's only going to be piezo only, no pickups. So it's going to have a real look and feel of somewhat of an acoustic guitar, and I'm really excited about this one. It's really cool set of eyes. You can see there. I would love to get that in the middle of the back. But yeah, this is going to be a really fun project. Figured black walnut top and back. Kind of a thick acoustic-y feel, piezo only. This one's running in the works too, so we'll be seeing this. Next up on the list, this is gonna be another fun one. This will be definitely another hollow body, and this one's for Lindsay.
We've been playing in this one for quite a while. We got this really nice white limba back. Nice and thick. Pretty cool grains going on in there. And this is really nice. Let's see if we can get a bit in that way. Very quilted maple top. Some really beautiful stuff going on in here. As you can see, we're even get a set of eyes in this one on the headstock, which should be pretty cool. See, not sure what design that'll be yet. It's just a rough cutout, but let's be next on the list. We decided this one's going to have a really cool double koi fish, kind of like how the Journey is just separated pieces. We're going to do 2 koi fish swimming yin-yang-ish on this one. It was Lindsay's original idea. We'll see if he wants to stick with that. But we'll be seeing this one get started to process pretty quick here too. All right, and last but not least, as promised, so we can take a peek here, I have got myself a side pressing jig. So we went ahead and bent our first acoustic sides, and boy, I tell you what, I was really excited how it worked. This first one here, it came out just perfect, and I was really stoked to that it happened this way, because that one came out perfect and it gave me confidence to continue. And well, second round didn't go so hot. We broke both bouts. And what happened is, this one would have been perfect, but with my lack of experience, I either hit a pocket of water or maybe the aluminum foil leaked a little, and it started steaming really heavily to the point where I thought I was starting to burn the wood. So I bent it too quick, but that's fine. I had an old neck blank that I didn't feel was up to par to structurally make a neck out of. So I sliced it up into a bunch of side blanks. So these were the real basic ones that I didn't even know if they would bend well because they had kind of funky wood in it. But the next 2 we're going to do do have a book matching to them. So I'm going to have to be a lot more careful on that second round. But yeah, to see that come together was pretty rewarding. We do have only one hand. I got an inexpensive spruce top for my start, and we've went ahead and actually made a really cool back. As you can see, you've got 2 chunks of figured white limba and black limba in between. And if you notice, down our middle, I was able to get a cool line where it's separating the light on that side, dark on this side. I think that look turned out pretty cool. But these were all scrap offcuts that I really didn't have any use for. And we were able to get it together, and yeah, it definitely passes the tap test. So pretty stoked on that. So we have got some beginnings to Acoustic World. And yeah, like I said, I'm just digging through and finding all the scrap wood I can right now to practice with, and got a couple inexpensive spruce tops here. So yeah, I'm sure the first couple aren't gonna turn out incredible, but we gotta learn to make it, right? So I guess that's gonna wrap it up for projects right now, and we'll go ahead and I guess we'll see what kind of work we want to do today. All right. All right, well, the first thing we're going to do today is play around with a little bit of our stain sample. This is a stain sample for the Flying V, and albeit a poor one at that, I will say. This was kind of a failed test itself. I Never done it before, so I attempted to apply the stain with like quadruple aught steel wool. I kind of wanted to see what happened. And to me, it really kind of made it blotchy. It's almost like it got it in there too well. You can see some of our grain, good figure there, but kind of gets blotchy. So we do have more, we could sand this off, use the back, whatever. We'll do another run to make sure the stain goes on the way we want. But since we have this, before we start a new one, I've always had the question here of, can you paste wax over stain? And so our test today, you can see we've got a piece here that's just basically charcoal, a piece that would represent having somewhat of a burst at the edge, and just an all-out dark piece. And we're going to see how paste wax plays with this. So it's a two-part test here. First, we need to make sure we can get it on, work our edge, and not bleed all over everything. And then we're going to have to let it set up, and I'm going to, I don't know, do jumping jacks or something and get myself a little worked up and see if a sweaty hand pulls any stain off of this after it's set up. Those are the two big questions I have. So we like to use Liberon Black Bison Wax in clear. This is our preferred go-to stuff. So let's see what we got here. All right, not too bad there. We have let this stain dry for a good solid 2-3 weeks to really make sure we get it set up. And look at that. That's pretty impressive. We are not getting any bleed off here. Get into the heavy stuff. Let's see what happens. Yeah, getting a little there. Yeah, I think that's pretty good, huh? Obviously, you have to do a little bit of job with the staining, but now we just gotta wait and see what's gonna happen with our hand test. So let that set up and do its thing.
to the next. All right, so next up, I guess we can get into the single cut. We've got our fretboard radius. We went ahead and went with a 10-inch radius on this guy, and we are 25-inch scale. The fretboard's still at 6 mil, but we are overall sitting at like 21, 22. So I think I'm just going to go fat fretboard on this one. And what that means is we're going to need to plane a little bit more of this down to get our proper neck break angle. If we want to take a peek here, getting pretty close. We do not need to go that much further because, we do want a little bit of adjustability there. All right, so let's take this down a little, huh? If you notice, the wall's a little bare here. That's because I built myself a nice little tool caddy, if you take a peek at it right here. And yeah, so most of the specialty tools now have a good home. And I'm gonna rebuild my plane holder too. Do a little bit better shelves on there. All right, let's take a peek and see where we're at. Definitely want to make sure we keep an eye on our joint here. And as we go down, we can take a note. We little gap there, so we want to work a little bit more off this side next round. Steady as she goes, right? All right, I am pretty happy with that. So I think at this point we can get ready to start cutting this neck up, huh? I guess we can save that for the vise work, right? Because we need to carve this neck. So let's make some marks and give ourselves some no zone spots to carve to. All right, let's get it on. So if we take a peek here, we've gotten our facets down as far as we want to facet. And now it's going to be time to go around and eliminate these edges. The big thing, we got perfectly flat surfaces here. We don't want to develop any bumps or dips. It could be real painful to take out. So just really take our time and pay attention. We need to come up with something creative on how we're going to meld the heel into the body. We need to work on our volute. We need to thickness our headstock. We're definitely a little thick, so we'll probably start out with that. We have our headstock veneer in the works here, still not quite flat, but we need to get that on there too. So it's going to be our plan of action. Thickness this headstock, carve the neck, be creative with our heel, and yeah, then we can maybe finalize this volute and see what happens. So let's get this thing in the vise. There's a few different ways I've learned to do this process. On these softer woods like limba, I don't mind just putting the elbow grease in and getting the saw rasp out and going to town. On the harder woods, I do cut that piece off with the Japanese saw these days. I've learned it just takes too long when you're trying to chew through that much. I really do a lot of my neck carving just by feel, and I have one of those contouring blocks that I can check other necks against to it, but I just seem to do what I want to do for feel. And man, that spot right there, filing that, getting close to round over really is a nice feeling when you put your hand back around there and have some of these edges starting to be knocked off. We'll have a lot more to do on this. We can see we're starting to round it up a little bit there. We can polish this off when the time is right. I think we'll be just fine with that. With the heel here, I'm pretty sure we're just going to contour it right to the body. The body has a pretty nice curve on it, and I think it'll be nice if the guitar neck just really kind of just melts right into it and becomes part of the rounded off body. So again, we'll have some more work to do before we're done here, but we've at least got our initial shape carved down to where our hand will be, and we'll keep moving forward. All right, it got cold outside. There really is something just very nice when you are matching different angles with roundness like this with a file. It's very soothing and relaxing. Something I've really come to enjoy these days. You guys have seen me use an orbital sander enough, so I went ahead and thinned this down off camera. And now we're getting that all-important line for our headstock veneer to meet our nut. It's got to be perfectly square on the center line. And we're ready to clamp up. I've had this end of this bottle of Type Bond, and the last 3 or 4 jobs I'm trying to finish it off because I'm keeping the bottle held upside down. So it's always kind of tricky opening, pouring, closing, just so I can use all of it. And man, it just keeps going. Still got some more left in there, and I put way too much glue on this one. You saw I scraped a bunch of it off there. What we do is really stoked. Our center lines line up. Nothing wiggled.
I did put a couple granules of salt on there to help stick it. And we have now got a headstock veneer. The body on this is a one-piece maple top, which is pretty rare. Haven't seen too many of those. And our headstock veneer is book matched, but boy, it's the same wood, and I think it looks really nice. It does complement each other. Well, while that dries, let's go ahead and start to process some more sides for the acoustic world. Boy, when you start building guitars, there are a lot of tools to get, and it took me a good 3 years to really get the basic tools I needed. And the day you get your bandsaw is, man, it's such a game changer. And being able to upgrade my bandsaw to a 12-inch cut from a 6 really changed everything too. But man, the recent addition of a drum sander to the shop really is kind of an easy button. I'm just amazed at how fast I'm processing things now, which would have took me so much time by hand. As you can see there is an amount of time spent with a drum sander tracking your belt. But yeah, I guess I'm a technician, so I should be able to figure that out, right? But yeah, getting this drum sander was, I think the first weekend I had it, I put 9 pieces through it. All right, well, we're dry, and let's trim this baby up and make it pretty. Yeah, I can't wait. We'll see what this looks like in just a minute. So the headstock veneer is about 2 millimeters right now. We shouldn't have too much sanding to polish that up, and then we will need to do a little more finalizing on the overall thickness and take that back down just a tiny bit more. But boy, putting time and effort and passion into something working with your hands, it's really rewarding years down the road when you've really developed control of what you're doing. And yeah, it's just like anything, you put the time in and you really get the reward. So can't be happy enough about how the hand working is going these days. From, it's a long road to feeling like you're never going to be there, but man, once you start polishing your goods, it's very rewarding. Here we are taking a short break from festivities, and we are working on wiring up this beauty here. Let's see what we can figure out.
Plays on the Chinese stuff.
Welcome, Lindsay.
Okay, well, here we are. I'm digging that, huh? How about you guys? Really digging how this one's coming out. So, man, there's so many more things to do and a lot to get into, but we're starting to run a little long today, so we got a lot of catching up to do. But we'll definitely see you guys soon, and I can't wait to see what you guys think of the projects, and hope you continue to watch everything come along. So, until next time, we'll see you guys later. All right, cheers.